Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is the Farzy Show. It's nice to have you along for the ride. I hope everybody is just doing fantastic, especially after a Philadelphia Phillies victory, another Philadelphia Phillies victory. They barely get hits, but when they get hits, they're home runs, they're long balls, and the Phillies, of course, get the 6-4 win over the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim still. Anyway, they beat him. Shohei Ohtani played. Did not look particularly good facing Matt Strahm there. Way to go, Matt Strahm. So we'll get into that game last night. We'll get into this just unbelievably historic month for the Phillies. Now 52 home runs in the month of August. It has been insane watching the Phillies this month when it comes to the long ball. Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, Nick Castellanos, all with at least 7 home runs in the month of August. This has been pretty special. Jake Cave, we'll get into the numbers. Jake Cave, Alec Boehm, Bryson Stott, all with 4 home runs in the month. This has been incredible. So we'll get to all that and more on today's show. We'll get to the Philadelphia Eagles. They make an acquisition. We'll get into the Eagles and something that is really bothering me. Horrifically bothering me. And the phrase, "we can't have nice things," comes to mind. If this is happening, I haven't heard it. Because I would hope that we wouldn't be that dumb to do this. Are people actually pitting DeVonta Smith and A.J. Brown against one another? Like, is there really a team DeVonta and team AJ Colts out there? Are there really two sides to this? Because if there are, then have we learned nothing from feeding the ego of a Terrell Owens? Have we learned nothing about trying to have people coexist? Have we learned nothing from past experiences where we have anybody in any position, not just wide receivers, but do we need to put bad blood in there? Because I haven't heard this, okay? I haven't heard any of the who's the better receiver. I haven't heard any of, well, I'm a team AJ guy. I'm a team DeVonta Smith guy. Because if that's the thing, that's the dumbest thing we could possibly do as a fan base. If they have started a conversation about who's the better wide receiver, I can get, that conversation. But if that takes on more than one day of conversation, or if that is going to start to be a leading talking point in the Delaware Valley or amongst the Eagles fan base, that's just dumb. And I think A.J. Brown handled it beautifully. And DeVonta Smith, 2 days ago, when addressing the media, I thought handled the question great. And the question wasn't even about, team AJ or team DeVonta. It was about just both going out there and getting theirs and helping the team win. And they're both team first guys. That's what I heard from DeVonta Smith. And then A.J. Brown addressed the media yesterday where he was asked the question about his feelings. Hey, what was your reaction when Darius Slay said, DeVonta Smith is going to become the best? That won't be long before DeVonta Smith is the best wide receiver in the NFL. Won't be long before we're talking about DeVonta Smith as the best wide receiver in the NFL. And of course, A.J. Brown's right over there, not that much older than DeVonta Smith. If that started some chain reaction of who's the better receiver, then I just think that's silly. Absolutely silly. And we are going to waste what is something the best wide receiving duo ever in Philadelphia Eagles history. We're going to waste that. That doesn't seem smart. If we start feeding into that, it's easy to ignore something now. If you're A.J. Brown, if you're DeVonta Smith, it's easy to go, we haven't played a game yet. Come on. But then let's just say the first couple games of the season, A.J. Brown has like 15, 20 catches. DeVonta Smith has 5. He's not getting the ball. And then it's going to start to feed into the mind, like, hey, where am I at in all this? Or let's say it's reversed. DeVonta Smith gets 20 catches, and A.J. Brown goes through a stretch where he gets 5. And he's not getting the ball in the red zone. He's not scoring touchdown, but DeVonta Smith is. That's going to start feeding the beast. And hey, you can be the best guy in the world. You can be the best man in the world. And all of a sudden that starts feeding into your ego a little bit. These guys are competitors. And ego can really disappear in the vein and in the vein of competition. Well, I'm just a competitor, and I want to make sure I'm helping the team too. You want to say that it's just going to go away because we're winning, which is great. And the culture is great. Everything's great. Everything's wonderful. But I don't really need to test the culture. I don't want to test the culture. Let the team go through its own adversity without us stirring the pot. And when I listened to the press conference yesterday with A.J. Brown, the first thing I saw the quote, the question from Reuben Frank was asked the question. I was like, that's odd. Why would Reuben ask that question? And then I realized it was A.J. Brown teeing up that conversation. So Reuben actually did a great job of asking the question. It was a great question. It needed to be asked because I hadn't heard, and I didn't hear from DeVonta Smith yesterday or 2 days ago either, when I heard DeVonta Smith talk about the 2 wide receivers the Eagles have. And I was just thinking, after yesterday, I was like, please don't, let's not start this. Oh my God, please, let's not start this. And then it was A.J. Brown saying, yeah, I wish fans would stop, going between him or I as, the number one guy, or both number ones, that kind of thing. And then Reuben Frank did a great job of following it up and say, hold on a second, do you feel like that's what people are asking right now? And we'll let you hear it right from the horse's mouth, right from A.J. Brown, coming up in just a minute on the show. But we'll get into that conversation today. And then, did you see this Ronald Acuna Jr. stuff in Colorado? Braves are playing the Rockies. Ronald Acuna Jr. is in center field. And fans, I originally read it. Now, I'm gonna lay this whole thing out just in case you saw this as well in the order in which I did. So a lot of people are saying that he was attacked. It didn't look to me like he was being attacked. It looked like some idiot fan jumped the fence and ran onto the field to try to take a picture with him. And then another idiot fan jumped on and tried to do the same thing, and security was involved. Guys are getting thrown to the ground. When the second guy ran in, it looked like there was a little bit of a scuffle. Not a shoving match, not a pushing and shoving, not like somebody was going to get punched, but it looked like security was getting in there looking to protect Acuna, and they had the right intentions, and then Acuna gets knocked to the ground. So the first thing I saw was that he was attacked. And then I was like, really? And the first video I saw was just guys laying on the ground in the outfield at Coors Field. And I went, oh, God, that's terrible. And then I saw another angle of it. Somebody tagged Barstool in it. And I saw that one, and that showed the whole thing. It showed the fan running onto the field. And I'm like, how do they know to record right then and there? And the fan running onto the field and going up to Acuna, putting his arm around Acuna. And it looked like they were about to pose for a selfie when security came fee-fi-fo thumbing in, and rightfully so, and tried to separate the two. And then somebody else came running in, and that's when Acuna got knocked to the ground. I don't understand, people. Stay off the like. This is so stupid. Like, running onto the field is damn ridiculous. I don't understand the impulse of somebody that would be like, I need to run on the field right now. I don't get it. I don't get it even a little bit. And I got a little story on that coming up a little bit later in the show, but that's what we got for you guys today. Let's start it off by talking about your Philadelphia Phillies, because what they have done in this month has been great, and what Trey Turner has done in this month has been absolutely amazing. But as for the game itself, Taijuan Walker, I will say this, the velocity was fine last night, but the location was not. It looked like JT was moving his mid around a lot last night. But it's a classic thing that we've seen from Taijuan Walker this year. And I love that after the game, he got asked the question about, hey, what jumps out to you? 14 wins on the season. What jumps out to you about how you've been able to stack the wins on the year? And Taijuan Walker with a 4 ERA. Okay, ERA of 4 on the season, 4.02 now. Hey, what's been helping you stack these wins? He's like, well, the offense. It's like, not even, what's up? My splitter's been great, or my velocity's back, or I've been pretty consistent about what I've been doing out there. It's like, oh no, they're scoring runs. Have you seen my ERA? It's not great. I'm not competing for a Cy 14 win. I have nothing. Cy Young Award. No, not happening. But the offense has been raking, and that's how I've been able to stack wins on the season. It was the first thing he said. Actually, it was the only thing he said. Now, as I've said many times, he's gotten through his dead arm period. Now he's kind of got it tracked down that location again. And last night was a bit of a problem. Going to that first inning, gives up the RBI single. It's right field, 2-out single. Unfortunately, it was 1-0. Then right away, like the Phillies have been doing really throughout their last handful of home games here, their opponent scores first, and the Phillies are like, that's cute, and then they come roaring back. So in this instance, the first inning, you go out there, Renifro goes in there, gets the RBI single to right field with 2 outs. It's 1-0 in favor of the Angels. Then Trey Turner steps up. It's a 16th home run of the season. It's a 1-1 game at that point. Going to the 4th inning, oh, by the way, also in that first inning, and we'll get into the Trey Turner discussion, Trey Turner makes a spectacular play in the first to help get out of that jam at shortstop. Then in the 4th inning, Walker, a 2-out walk to Grichuk, and then a double by Shenuel. And then Ohtani gets the walk. Drury comes up with the 2-run single to center field. Now you're down 3-1. Then you go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Again, the Angels go up a couple runs, and the Phillies come right back. Trey Turner works a leadoff walk. Bryce Harper steps up to the plate next, and he blasts 429 feet. His 8th home run of the month of July, August. 8th home run of the month of August, excuse me. And he has just been 360 in the month, folks. 360 in the month. And he blasts that home run in the right field. Next thing you know, it's a tie ball game. It's 3-3. And then the Phillies were able to tack on a couple of more runs there in the 8th inning to take a 5-3 lead. JAKIB got the leadoff single. Kyle Schwarber then struck out. Trey Turner then stepped up again and said, you know what? It's such a nice day. Let's hit 2. And he hit a 2-run home run, a 2nd home run of the game, 17th home run of the season, 7th home run in the month of August. It's a 5-3 ball game. Drury goes up there in the 7th inning for the Angels. He gets a single. Renifro goes up there. He gets a bloop 1-out single down the first base line. Moniak steps up. He gets an RBI single. He was 3 hits last night, including a triple and a bunt. A bunt single as well in his first at bat at CBP as a member of the Angels. He made it a 5-4 ball game. Then in the 8th inning, Alec Boehm got a double. Brandon Marsh got the 1-out RBI single into right field to make it a 6-4 game. Got the 14th win of the season for Taijuan Walker and 52 home runs after Harper's home run and Trey Turner's 2 home runs, 52 home runs in the month of August. The Phillies have never had a month like this. And this is the first time, I believe it is, in Phillies history where they've had at least 8 home runs from 3 different players in a single month. Castellanos, Harper, and Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber has 9 home runs in the month of August. For the people that like making a big deal of the month of June, and granted it is worth it, he has a nice month in the month of June. With 8 home runs, he hit 9 in the month of August. And we still got a couple of days left. How about that? But this Phillies team has been mashing. And 2 things I want to say, because this month of August has been ridiculously special for Trey Turner. 2 things I want to say about it. 1, we haven't made enough about what Trey Turner has done in the field. Because in the first 4 months of the season, while his bat was struggling, his defense was certainly struggling. And I think he was taking, usually they say you take the struggles of the field to the plate. It seemed like the other way around for Trey Turner, where just at times nothing could go right for Trey Turner. That one diving stop to save a game, and they later won in an extra inning. So that was great. That was about 2 months ago. But really, few and far between has gone well for Trey Turner in the first 4 or 5 months of the season. Now, in month 5, he has really turned it on in the month of August, and he's been great at the plate. As I mentioned, 7 home runs in the month of August, up to 17 on the season. Last night in the first inning, made a great play, diving to his left. In the 4th inning, as a matter of fact, he was just about to make a play on that Drury ball. And I don't know if it tipped his glove, but it was just barely out of his reach. And he couldn't make the play there, but he put out every effort to try to make it, and he just couldn't do it. But he has been spectacular at shortstop in this month as well as mashing from the plate. He has been great at shortstop. And Rob Thompson said the same thing after the game, that he has just been great. Yeah, we've been talking about his bat, but we haven't talked enough about his glove. And he made a great play in that first inning to make sure that they limited the damage to just 1 run. Otherwise, things could have gone off the rails quickly for the Angels. For the Phillies against the Angels. So that's been great. The other thing I want to say about it for Trey Turner is it has to do with you, the Philadelphia fan. Because they had a national game Saturday night on Fox. And I can't remember the last time the Philadelphia fans got more positive attention than what they got and what they have been getting for helping Trey Turner's turn around this season. The Philadelphia fan base, as we all know, if they're getting talked about nationally, it's invoking something that happened in the 60s with throwing snowballs at Santa Claus. It's J.D. Drew. It's batteries. It's a raucous fan base. It's a horrible fan base. It's a rude fan base, blah, blah, blah. It's a barbarian fan base. But this time around, let's see here. The Phillies couldn't crack the code of Trey Turner. Kevin Long couldn't crack the code. Trey Turner couldn't crack the code. Philadelphia fans standing ovation. Trey Turner goes on to have historically maybe his best month ever in the big leagues. That's pretty spectacular. Pretty spectacular. And to hear that highlighted whenever the Phillies get talked about on the national stage makes me feel pretty damn good. Makes me feel pretty damn good. As far as what took place last night from a other perspective, from a bird's eye view, the Phillies have improved to now 4.5 games in the wild card standings. The Chicago Cubbies, they're at a half game up on the rest of the pack, so the Phillies have a 4-game lead on the Cubs. Diamondbacks, who lost last night, occupy the 3rd wild card spot. The Giants are there a half game out. Reds are a game and a half out. Marlins are 2.5 out, and the San Diego Padres are 7 games out of a wild card spot right now. But the Phillies, it's been a minute since I've seen them at 4.5 games. So that is fantastic to see in the standings right there for the Phils. Love to see that. Also, Craig Kimbrell came in, had a pretty clean save last night. That was great. Gregory Soto had a 9-pitch 8th inning. That was awesome. Matt Strum coming in to handle Shohei Ohtani. By the way, Shohei Ohtani last night singled his first at bat, almost hit Taijuan Walker there, straight up the middle shot that Taijuan Walker was able to shimmy out of the way of. Then he flew out to center field in the 3rd inning. In the 4th inning, he had got the intentional walk. 6th inning, he struck out by Strum. Strum started out that count going down 2-0 to Shohei Ohtani, came back with 3 straight strikes and got him a strikeout on a slider that Ohtani, if Ohtani would have hit that baseball, that would have left Citizens Bank Park, gone around the globe, and ended up in the Pacific Ocean. That would have been damn ridiculous. After that, he grounded out the 3-1 put out in the 8th inning, so the Phillies didn't have to face him in the 9th inning to wrap things up. So that was a great thing to see there for the Phils. So absolutely love to see that. I'm just taking a glance at the comments already. This is why context matters, folks. Okay. So today, the Phillies will be back at it. Michael Lorenzen will be on the hill for the Phils. We'll get into that a little bit more later. All right, let's get into this because it's driving me flipping crazy. Can we not ruin a great thing? The Eagles have 2,000-yard receivers. That's pretty good. The Eagles have something spectacular here with I believe, a perennial MVP candidate in Jalen Hurts. They have a full backfield of running backs, a stable of running backs. They have a tight end that I believe is a Pro Bowl caliber tight end and just needs to stay healthy. But for the love of anything and everything holy, please, let's not ruin a wonderful thing. Let's not ruin something that we have never had before, which is as a dynamic receiving core as what we have right now, particularly at the wide receiver position. When I talk about A.J. Brown, I talk about DeVonta Smith. Let's not ruin this. Now, if this is a conversation that has started, if somehow someone is twisted and wrung out to try to get something out of the awesome compliment that DeVonta Smith paid, or excuse me, that Darius Slay paid to DeVonta Smith about, it's not going to be long before we're talking about him as the best wide receiver in the league. If we're going to make that into a negative, then dear God, what the hell is wrong with us? I have not heard this, okay? And truth be told, I don't really drive around a lot, so I don't know if this has become a sports talk radio thing. I haven't read about it. I haven't read about it in print. I haven't seen you guys talk about it on the social media platforms. So if this is something that has stirred up, this has been far over my head. I have not heard this, okay? So yesterday, A.J. Brown's doing his press conference, and he's asked about Darius Slay's comment about DeVonta Smith. And A.J. Brown is asked about, hey, so it's not going to be long before we're talking about DeVonta Smith is the best wide receiver in the NFL. That's Darius Slay's comment. So A.J. Brown was given the opportunity to respond to that. I think it was Tim McManus of ESPN that said, hey, I just want to get your thoughts on that. What's your reaction to it? Here's what A.J. Brown had to say about that question.
I think Slay is just supporting his teammate. Everybody knows DeVonta is a really good player. I think he's just giving DeVonta his flowers. I think also that's his opinion, and so I'm excited for this season for the both of us. It's not no competition for none of us. Honestly, I wish the fans would stop trying to choose, and just enjoy both of us while they have both of us, And so, but I just think in that situation, man, Slay is just giving his flowers to DeVonta. He goes against him most of the time, so.
That's great. I thought he wanted that, but when he said, "I wish the fans would stop saying it's Team DeVonta or Team AJ," I was like, I don't know, huh? So I haven't heard that. Apparently, Ruben Frank hasn't heard it either. So he did what he's supposed to do. He did a good job in this scenario here of asking the follow-up question. Wait, hold on. You hear this? Who's saying this? Do you feel like people are actually doing this? Because I haven't heard it. Here's A.J. Brown's response.
Do you feel like there is fans kind of picking Team AJ, Team DeVonta? Do you sense that?
Not to even get into all that, but sometimes you see it, and I have seen reporters just asking each of us questions, and I don't think you should do that. I think you should just enjoy both of us. It's not about me and DeVonta. We're great together. We complement off each other really well, and like I said, that's another wide receiver one on the side of me, man. So I think everybody, the city of Philly or whoever, I think you should just appreciate both of us while you have us, because so.
I honestly feel like we do. I feel like as a city, we do appreciate it. And I haven't heard the conversation started about team one or the other. And I was like, when I heard AJ say that, and obviously then I heard Ruben ask the question, like, oh, you've heard that? Because we haven't heard that. I thought, please, God, don't let us ruin a great thing. We have two dynamic wide receivers that are 26 or younger. We have a 26-year-old A.J. Brown. We have a 24-year-old DeVonta Smith. We have a quarterback that, again, I feel is a perennial MVP candidate in Jalen Hurts. At least candidate, maybe MVP. We have a complete receiving core with your tight end. We have a complete receiving core with who we have coming out of the backfield. Kenny Gainwell and DeAndre Swift catch the ball very well if the Eagles actually decided to throw to running backs. But part of the reason they don't is because they got great wide receivers and tight end who are supposed to catch footballs. If this is a conversation, again, I haven't heard it. But if this is a conversation you have in your fan base and in amongst your circle of friends, your circle of fans that you talk to regularly, if somebody's asking this question, stop it. It's just when they ask the question, just look at the dead in their eyes and just go, stop it. You stop it. We have a wonderful thing. Let's not ruin this. We got swole Batman. We got skinny Batman. And you want to turn them both into the Joker? Not gonna happen. Do not let this happen. Do not ruin it. Do not make this into a why can't we have nice things type of conversation. Just let Jalen Hurts go out there and deal. Let the open guy. You know what? Let's invoke the Steve Young line. Who's your favorite wide receiver? The one that's open. That's the way I want Jalen Hurts to operate. That's what I want A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith to be thinking as this year gets underway and this year goes on. And their careers, hopefully next to each other for a long, long time. Let's hope that this is something that is just the beginning. We only got 1 year under our belt with this. Let's get two. With 1 year under our belt, you know what's happened? Know what we've seen? There's been a Super Bowl appearance. It's been a best team in the NFL. It's been a best record in the NFL. It's been an undefeated record for what? What did we get? 8 wins in a row to start the season last year? Is that what we saw? That's pretty good. Let's not ruin this. I don't want this to start. I don't want this to be the spark that starts a fire. Now, when AJ was pushed on it, when Ruben followed up with the question, he said, well, reporters have asked us. I haven't heard that. So I don't know really where this is coming from. But if this is the littlest, tiniest little spark, I don't want this to go into a great conflagration in talking about wide receivers. Ego is what killed what could have been the greatest era of Philadelphia Eagles football. I mean, it still was, but it could have made the greatest era of Philadelphia Eagles football even better. With T.O. and Donovan McNabb, ego killed that. I don't want to see that again. For any Eagles fans that lived through that, and a lot of us did, a lot of us watching right now, a lot of us listening on the podcast right now, lived through that. The T.O. versus Donovan thing. That was a wide receiver versus quarterback. It wasn't wide receiver versus wide receiver, but nonetheless, they're two athletes that have egos. I don't want to see that again. So let's embrace how great this is. Let's embrace how special this is. You've never seen a wide receiving core like this. If you're an Eagles fan, your grandfather hasn't seen a wide receiving core like this. This is insane. So what are we going to do 1 year into it? Oh, we're going to try to ruin it? Cool. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's embrace. Let's encourage. Let's get a little chip off the old Trey Turner block and just take the positive aspect out. Let's just take the positive aspect. Let's take the positive avenue. Excuse me. Let's take the positive avenue and explore this. Well, who's better? Who's the one? It's 1 and 1A. I love that A.J. Brown just highlighted it and was just like, hey, man, that's another wide receiver 1 over there. Couldn't have answered it better. Please don't make this one versus the other. Stay with me here, please. In other Eagles news, Son Reddick addressed the media yesterday also. Talked about ligaments that he had torn up in his finger. He will be ready for week 1. Here is Son Reddick walking us through what happened at practice when the injury happened and what's going to happen now that he is saying he's going to be back for week 1.
I had, messed up the hand during practice. It wasn't bad. That's why I was able to finish practice. We just went to go get it looked at because of the, the swelling that was around it. And that's when we, figured like, hey, better to go get surgery now, make it stable for the season, just protect it and, had enough time to get it done. That way I could get back for week 1. So the progression's been really well.
Do you expect to play week 1?
I do expect to, yes.
Are you going to have to wear anything different on your hand?
Of course, protect something over it to protect it during game time. But, we've been working on some different options, see what works best. And, yeah, that's what I do for the season.
Beautiful, wonderful, great, good. Well, be ready to go. We remember last year Jason Kelce had something similar in terms of an injury right before the season. I think it was his elbow last year, and he was ready for week 1 because Jason Kelce don't miss games, baby. Son Reddick doesn't seem like he's going to be missing any time when the regular season gets underway. I filled in on Birds 365 yesterday, and there was this interesting question out there. 2 interesting things. One, and there was some news that came out in light afterwards. One was in regards to Derek Barnett. The other was about whether or not there's going to be a lull with this Eagles team. And I think it was ESPN Stats and Inc. was answering a question about teams that are going to have a decline. What teams out there should have a decline, or what teams do you expect to have a decline? And the team that was one of the teams that was picked to have a decline was the Philadelphia Eagles. Look, you have the success that you have. You start a season out 8-0. You go 14-3 in a regular season. You only lose 3 games, and now you have a tough schedule. Obviously, coming up in the this upcoming season, if the Eagles could very well win 14 games, the Eagles could win 15 games. But if you're going to pick a team that's going to decline, I think the Eagles are low-hanging fruit. Because let's look at it. Other than the NFL top 100, not a lot of people have given the proper respect to Jalen Hurts for year 2. A lot of people don't have him ranked in the top 5 when it comes to the best quarterback in the NFL. It's ridiculous to me. The only thing Jalen Hurts has to do now is just to do it again and do it again and do it again and do it again. Then he has to prove it. Again, another year, prove it. Runner-up in the MVP doesn't prove it. Super Bowl appearance doesn't prove it. The team around him doesn't prove it. The only thing that proves it is he's got to keep doing it. year after year after year. That is one of the most humbling things about sports. Yeah, great. Do it again. Oh, phenomenal year, historic year for any Philadelphia Eagles quarterback. For any quarterback, do it again. You're a young pup, do it again. Show us that this is the consistency. Show us this isn't a flash in the pan. Show us this isn't another Carson Wentz. And God, I hate that narrative, but people say it. It's not Carson Wentz. He's got a much better head on his shoulders. And he's got a much better team around him. Let's put it that way as well. But it starts with Jalen Hurts. So he's just got to do it again. And if you're going to pick a team to decline, now people are going to look at the Eagles and say, oh, well, can they do that again? Can they have another 14-win season? Do they have what it takes? Is this O-line going to stay healthy because they don't have a lot of depth behind it? And to me, I think this team, forget about any lull to start a season. Forget about any, it's going to take a minute before they hit their stride or it's early. I don't think we're going to have to say in the first couple of weeks of the season, well, it's early. The Eagles, they'll find their way. I don't think that's going to be the case. I get the sense from watching this team, listening to this team talk, listening to the coaching staff, listening to the veterans, of course. I get the sense that they feel like they are caged wild animals right now that just can't wait to break out. That's what this team, that's the vibe this team gives me right now. So I know, and this is what Jody was asking me about yesterday on Burst 365. Jody was like, well, they're honoring Tom Brady at Gillette Stadium. Do you think that the Eagles, maybe they get caught off guard a little bit there by Bill Belichick and the Patriots? It's not unheard of. The Patriots are a well-coached team. I don't know if you guys have heard that before. And I just get the sense that this Eagles team just wants to shut any doubter up. And I feel like I get the sense that they just want to go out there and they just want to be unleashed on the Patriots. And I also get a sense, the word that jumps out to me and keeps jumping out to me from Sean Desai is palpable. Look, I don't expect Sean Desai to be overly aggressive. I don't expect him to be, Jonathan Gannon didn't blitz. Watch this. I'm sending the house every play. I'm not expecting that. Or 4th and long, I'm sending the house still because I don't want it to be 4th and 12. I want it to be 4th and 20, right? I don't get the sense that's the case. But I do think he's going to be aggressive. Not Buddy Ryan aggressive, and maybe a tick or two more aggressive than Jonathan Gannon. But for what we've seen, I think that's going to feel pretty damn aggressive. I feel like he's got a middle linebacker in Kobe Dean that can get after the quarterback very well. And whether it's a quarterback sack, whether it's a hurry, whether it's pressure, whatever it might be, whether it's a quarterback hit, I feel like he's going to use that when the situation calls for it. You want to be palpable? You know what that means? You know what it means to be palpable? Obviously, it means you can feel it in the literal definition, but it also means that you want to insert your will. You want to announce your presence with authority. And Mac Jones, I think, is a good young quarterback. I don't think he's anything wildly special, but I think this Eagles team, especially this defense, just wants to get after it. I think they just want to hit people. And I think the Patriots are a team that they're going to be looking at, and they're going to look at Ezekiel Elliott, and they'll be like, hey, old friend, good to see you again. And they're going to go out there, and I think they're just going to be unleashed when they go. I don't see any kind of slow start. I mean, last year, the Eagles supposedly had the easiest practice and training camp schedule of anybody. Okay, this year it was supposed to be even easier. Well, last year they made it to a Super Bowl, so that's pretty good. Last year they had 2,000-yard receivers. So, okay, that's pretty good. 1,000-yard running back, that's pretty good too. Oh, yeah, and again, they were 8-0. So, yeah, there was no lull to start the season. There was a lull in the second half, maybe when they took their foot off the gas a little bit there against the Lions. But other than that, they were great. They were great. So, I don't really understand the narrative or the idea that this team is, slow start. Don't see it happening. Don't see it happening. I can't wait, as you can't wait, for Sunday, Foxborough, a week from Sunday, Foxborough, and the Eagles just getting ready to unleash hell on the season. Can't wait for it. The other thing that's out there is Derek Barnett granted permission to seek a trade. Derek Barnett wants more playing time, folks. The Eagles are in a situation where they're trying to squeeze whatever they can out of a first-round pick in Derek Barnett. I personally don't see it, but it happens to be the position group. If this was any other position, maybe offensive line. If this wasn't a lineman, offensive or defensive line, the Eagles would be like, all right, I think we're good. See you later. Either cut, released, traded, whatever it might be. So with Derek Barnett now being granted permission to seek a trade, okay, good luck. Trey Lance, a quarterback, just got traded for a 4th-round pick. What are the Eagles going to get for Derek Barnett? I love the idea of teams. Look, I know it's not popular to side with the team. It's popular to side with the player, a lot of times. But for me, I look at Derek Barnett and I look at this situation with the Eagles and they say, we want permission to seek a trade. And the Eagles are like, yeah, go for it. You don't think we've tried? Yeah, you go ahead. You kick the tires around the NFL. You let us know. You let us know what conditional 7th-round pick we could possibly get. Here's the really funny thing about it. And by the way, Mike Sealski wrote a great article on Inquirer.com about Howie Roseman, the most brilliant man. I'd say the only one that can rival Howie Roseman in Philadelphia is the most brilliant man in Philadelphia sports is Dave Dombrowski. It's the only one. And Dave had most of his success, obviously, outside of Philadelphia, but inside Philadelphia, it's Howie Roseman. But Howie Roseman has been a wizard in trades and done a great job in contract negotiations and free agents and all that stuff. If Howie Roseman couldn't pull off a trade, Derek Barnett and Drew Rosenhaus are going to pull off that trade. I don't say this often, but I'm going to say it right now. The ball's on you guys. You can do a better job than Howie? Hey, Howie, we got this great offer. Oh, yeah? What is it? 7th-round pick. Yeah, okay. Why don't you let me try this one more time? Oh, look at it. I got a 5th-round pick. Like, that's not happening. I think if Howie is telling other people, yeah, go ahead and seek that trade, I think he knows there's no trade out there. Look, it's a similar philosophy. It's not at all the same player, same caliber of player. But, like, the Colts are telling Jonathan Taylor, yeah, go find a trade. Who do you think gets traded first, Jonathan Taylor or Derek Barnett? Obviously, everybody would want Jonathan Taylor. Not everybody wants to pay Jonathan Taylor, which is kind of going to be the package deal there. So, yeah, when I saw that Derek Barnett is granted permission to seek a trade, I went, that's adorable. Good luck to you. So that's where we're at right there. That's where we're at right there when it comes to the lovely Philadelphia Eagles. Let's get into our chat check and see how wonderful people are doing on this fine morning. Where are we at here? Let's see. Started off with the Farzi. Actually, no. I started with Farzi yesterday. I'm going to start with the JAKIB Media. Holy pots and pans! Desmond Miller, what's going on? Jason A, what's going on the JAKIB Media YouTube chat? What's going on? Farzi, let's go! What's going on? Desmond Miller, Ruben need to sit down and get. All right. Kevin Savard, I think all right. Desmond. So basically, Dan blowing kisses on his show is working for Trey. Dan blowing kisses on his show? I don't understand what's happening here. Ruben did something similar about Carter. No, Ruben's question on Jalen Carter on draft day was that he didn't find him to be sincere in his apology or remorsefulness or anything like that. And Howie Roseman, and I actually side with Howie on this. I thought Howie was like, that's a hell of a judgment to make. So, yeah, but the questions weren't at all similar between Jalen Carter and A.J. Brown. Someone asked the same thing to me. I didn't hear it that way, Desmond. I referenced it earlier. Smitty addressed the media 2 days ago and was kind of asked about two good wide receivers finding their way and kind of finding a way to coexist. But I didn't get it wasn't a point blank of team AJ versus team Smitty like it was yesterday with AJ Brown. So I didn't get that same type of sense. Fans' biggest fuss is number 2 quarterback and punter. That is funny. Mike is right. All right. What's going on, Mike? It's the media doing all that. Again, I haven't even heard it from the media. I think the first domino was Darius Slay saying what he said about DeVonta Smith and not saying about AJ Brown. That's the way I see. That's the way I think it started out. And I get that line of questioning, but I don't get pitting one against the other. Mike is right. He's tired of them. Keep asking the same questions instead of enjoying what we have. Well, see, no wide receiver is going to go out there, or no media member is going to go out there and be like, isn't it great that there's two of you? Like, that's not going to be. That's not. I hate to say it, but no, I don't. No, hold on a second. Let me rephrase it. I don't hate to say this at all, but this is unfortunately where we are in life right now, folks. And this is what sucks. And I really do try my hardest to not go down this path with you guys. And this is one of the things I love about this platform. Like, I don't have to push dominoes. I don't have to look for stories. Like, I could talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about. And when it comes to the clickbait that's out there nowadays, if the average fan or the average internet scroller, okay, looked at a stupid headline or read a dumb story and just went, oh, that's stupid, and then just kept going with life, there wouldn't be clickbait. If you saw something or heard something that was just flat out stupid and you kept going about your merry way, right? If you saw a tweet that was just went, that's dumb, and kept going and didn't retweet it, didn't like it, just kept scrolling, there wouldn't be clickbait. If you saw a social media post that was dumb, that was stupid, that was just what? And you kept going about your day, there wouldn't be clickbait. But the fact that you went, what the hell? Click. Oh, you've lost. And stupidity has won. And that's what drives me crazy. Because it's not about quality anymore. It's not about decency anymore. It's about being a car wreck. And what happens when you see a car wreck on the road? Oh, man. Everyone slows down. Would you look at that? Look at that car. Everyone slows down. You have traffic, rubberneck traffic for no damn reason. Driving me damn crazy. And no, to answer your question, I don't look. I honk my horn. I ask the question when we have a first-time guest on the show, and I say, you know what makes me beep horn in traffic? You know what makes me beep horn? Everyone says, oh, the cell phone. You know what makes me beep my horn in traffic? Rubberneckers. That's what makes me beep my horn in traffic. And I'll just beep it like, ahem, ahem. Excuse me, we're leaving. And when I see the social media posts, the clickbait that's out there, when I see the stories that are out there, my reaction to it is, oh, that's stupid. Scroll to the next one. But the fact that it gets attention makes it valid and makes it make money. That's the definition of clickbait. If you guys had more of a mentality, if more people had a mentality of, well, that's stupid, ignore, then the stupid stories wouldn't be out there. But stupid is what gets attention. And that's the goal nowadays. It's not quality. It's not decency. It's stupid. And it gets attention. That's the currency nowadays. Attention. Clickety, click, click, clickety, click, click, click. So, yeah, writers are going to ask questions. Bloggers are going to ask questions about wide receivers, pitting one against the other, whatever. But in this scenario, I don't look at Reuben Frank's question as anything close to out of line. That is a good follow-up question. When a subject, AJ Brown, puts it out there about it being one versus the other, oh, I need a follow-up there because I haven't heard that argument. So if you only saw one clip of Reuben Frank asking a question, you saw the wrong clip. You don't know the context. And I'm trying to provide. I'm not trying. I am giving you the proper context of the situation because I want to know what the hell that conversation is. I want to know what the hell that mindset is, what the hell where that thought is coming from, where that idea is coming from, because I haven't heard it. Tell your media friends to chill on AJ and Smitty. See, here's the thing, John. I haven't heard questions of reporters pitting one against the other. The only time I really heard it was AJ Brown saying it. And AJ Brown said, now I got to go with AJ Brown because I'm not him and I'm not getting asked questions by media members and I'm not seeing everything AJ Brown is doing. I see the media scrums at the end of practice and I see the press conferences like yesterday. And before that, I really hadn't heard any round around questions about one versus the other. Desmond. Okay, I see what you're saying there. Yeah, the Carter one, admittedly, I didn't like, but the Smitty and AJ thing, that's not Reuben. That's Reuben trying to clarify the situation. That was a response to a question. He didn't volunteer that info on his own. Yeah, but he wasn't asked that question by Reuben. Oh, no. Actually, Desmond, he did volunteer that. Because the question, here, I'll give it to you again. The question that started the whole thing off was Tim McManus just asking for his response to Darius Slay saying DeVonta Smith's going to be the best wide receiver in the NFL. Here he is introducing that subject.
I think Slay is just supporting his teammate. You know, everybody knows DeVonta is a really good player. You know, I think he's just giving DeVonta his flowers. You know, I think also that's his opinion, and so I'm excited for this season for the both of us. You know, it's not no competition for none of us. You know, honestly, I wish the fans would stop trying to choose. You know, and just enjoy both of us while they have both of us.
Okay, right there. I wish the fans would stop trying to choose. Just enjoy both of us. Brilliant, wonderful, lovely, good, great, grand. But there was AJ volunteering the one or the other conversation. The question was about Darius Slay's comment. He did volunteer the one versus the other. And then I was like, when I heard that, huh? And then I heard Ruben's question. I was like, okay, thank God for that, because I need more on that. Where the hell is that coming from? And then he said it's not the fans. He said it's when he got the opportunity to clarify. He's like, well, the reporters asked his questions. So that to me is just odd. So my overall message, let's have nice things. Instead of in like, I don't know, 8 weeks, 9 weeks, instead of like in the middle of the season and now there's, a feud or something, instead of that, let's do this. Instead of in 9 weeks, 8 weeks being like, why can't we have nice things? Let's just have nice things. It's great. I want to bask in this for as long as possible. A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith catching passes from Jalen Hurts, and everybody loves one another. Let's live in that for as long as humanly possible. And could you imagine Nick Sirianni trying to be like, he would be the ultimate bro, trying to be like, trying to make sure everybody's cool and it's simpatico. You guys are like flowers. You guys are like flowers, right? And we have these flowers. And we're going to grow the flowers. And right now you got some seeds planted of hate. And we don't want those seeds of hate. So I'm going to dig them up and I'm going to throw them away. And we're not going to worry, right? Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're all going to love each other. We're all going to be great. Kelsey, can you handle the rest of this? That's the way I see that playing out. So that's what I got for it. Let's get to the Farzi Show chat. Thanks, everybody on JAKIB Media. Appreciate you guys. Desmond, I appreciate you. Raekwon, what's going on? Go Birds. Gaming. What's going on? Gaming. I see it. John. What's going on? Beepo Bop. And that's, what the hell, man? Pissing me off with the electronics. Jason 18, thank you. Kevin Savard, thank you. You guys are great. Over in the Farzi Show, Professor Dutch, what's going on? These Phillies are ready to dominate. They've been dominating, baby. Mark Pearson, what's going on, Mark? They need to give JT a spell. He hasn't been right in a while. I haven't. Let me real quick hit this for you guys, because I was shocked the other day when I looked up JT Realmuto's numbers in the month of August, because I was like, hold on a minute here, folks. JT Realmuto's numbers in August have actually been good? What? That's not supposed to happen. Especially over the last couple of weeks, he's been doing really well. But, oh, come on, man. Fat fingers. Why are my fingers so fat? Yeah, you wouldn't believe it, but he's got a 275 batting average in the month of August. He's on base at 324. These aren't great numbers, but they're not like, oh my God, these are piss poor. These are terrible. But listen, okay. Schwarber, Castellanos, all right, Kyle Schwarber, 9 home runs. This historic month with 52 home runs for the Phillies. Okay. Kyle Schwarber, 9 home runs. Castellanos, 8. Harper, 8. Turner with 7. Cave, Bohm, Stott with 4. Realmuto with 3. Marsh with 2. And then Rojas, asterisk, Sosa, and Weston Wilson with a home run as well. No home run for Stubbs. No home run for Randolfo Castro, who, in case you haven't really watched the show much or listened to the podcast, Randolfo Castro is, I don't know if I've ever not liked a player faster than I've not liked Randolfo Castro. But anyway, so that's the historic month there for the Phillies, home run-wise. But JT Realmuto's numbers in August have actually been pretty decent. I was like, hold on, I'm watching him, but he looks like he sucks all of a sudden. let me see if I can get you the more recent numbers here. So I'll give you the last 7 days. Okay, last week he's batting 158. Last 2 weeks he's been batting 250. But over the last month, 278. Oh, the last 30 days, 278. So yeah, the last week, ass. Everything else he's been doing pretty well. Shocking, I know. What the hell? Riley, where the hell? Oh, I skipped around. Okay, good. I hit a button. Miss Goozy. April, let's go. We'll get back to that one. Let's go, Farzi. Good morning. Good morning, Jason A. Oh, over on this as well. John Gillespie, what's going on? Jason A. Rube always asks negative. I don't feel like Rube asks negative questions. I felt like the Jalen Carter one got some bad headlines, unfortunately. We only have Batmans on this team. No Robins. You're damn right, T-bro. That's the deal. Saw it on Instagram. He wasn't attacked. Fans just wanted to yeah, okay, thank you. Fans just wanted a picture. Fan got tackled. Acuna fell. Looked like he was laughing. Stay in your seat, plain and simple. Thank you, Sean Kilrain. Yes, I 1,000 billion% agree. Stay in your seat. Good morning, Professor Dutch. Hello. Phillies ready to dominate. This is where I was. Okay, there we go. JT Rumi just you see, Garrett Stubbs got a few Stubbsy. See, Garrett Stubbs got at bats yesterday against Ranger Suarez. Now the Phillies have a road trip coming up, and it looks like Ranger Suarez might be able to pitch a short stint on the upcoming road trip for the Philadelphia Phillies. The more arms, the merrier, as far as I'm concerned. After this series on Wednesday, the series concludes on Wednesday. Then the Phillies are off Thursday. Then they're in Milwaukee for 3, and then they're in San Diego for 3. So I look forward to that road trip. It looks like Ranger Suarez might be available for even a short start, maybe even a short appearance, just to get him ready to go. Also, Christian Pache, I think, was one of the batters yesterday that he faced. Garrett Stubbs and Christian Pache was one of the batters that Ranger Suarez faced yesterday. So, Phillies have the off day Thursday. They're back at it tonight, 6:40. And then Wednesday, they got day game 105. Phillies play on Wednesday. So I look forward to all that. Sean Killer, Harper home run was a shot into the sunset. That was beautiful last night. Absolute beaut. Mark Pearson. Harper is in intentional walk territory, 1,500 plus OPS the last 10 days. What did I say? 60? 60. 360 in the month of August. So the on-base percentage and all that stuff has been great for Brandon Marsh. Granted, he's only played 11 games this month. He's got a 486 on-base percentage. Bryce Harper's got a 406 on-base percentage this month. He's got a 360 batting average. Edmundo Sosa has a 406 on base percentage. No, excuse me. Bryce Harper is at 448 for an on base percentage in the month of August with a 360 batting average and 8 home runs. That's pretty good. Edmundo Sosa, 406 on base percentage. Kyle Schwarber, 378 with a 209 batting average. Hey, look at that. And Trey Turner's at 355 with a 313 batting average, and he's got 7 home runs. He's got as many home runs as he does walks. Schwarber's been walked 23 times this month. Okay, I'm going to get out of the nerd zone here. Sorry, I'm just reading numbers to you. That's boring. Sorry. But yeah, that's where we're at right now in the month. Fuji! What's up, Mike Fuji? What's going on, buddy? Beautiful pick they post. Oh, the Harper home run with the full follow through and the ball jumping off the bat. That was pretty awesome. Mark Pearson, what's going on? The batteries thing bothers me when they ignore LA fans beating fans into vegetables and stabbing other fans. Okay, that's fair. Oh, what the hell just happened in San Francisco? Wasn't there? I know there was the fight in the stands. I don't even want to say it out loud if I'm not right, so I'm not even going to say it. The worst thing a Philly fan has done in the last decade is eat horse. I mean, we did punch a horse too. That still makes me laugh when Tina Fey does the Philly accent on Saturday Night Live, and they did the for the Eagles Patriots Super Bowl, most recent one. One the Eagles won, and they did we're going to bring our moms and pop-pops, and we're going to punch horses. Whatever it was. It was great. Most love, AJ and Smitty. Thank you, Fuji. Jason, hey, Phillies need to take the pressure off the Eagles. Wow, I never hear that being said. That's amazing. I'll read that. Sean Kilray, they are the Debbie Downer fans, always miserable and just want to bring down the team. Move on and watch the dynamic duo. Debbie Downer. We have two fans. John, stop. Don't team me up for Saturday Night Live references. We have two wide receivers that caught 1,000 yards where the pass is. Wah, wah. Some jabroni always looking to stir the pot. Knock it off. Harper's. Wait. This is rude. Oh, the eye glare last night for me. That's funny. Jason, I can't believe people do that and have to choose or pick sides, both of them on our team. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't want to start that, man. I don't want to start it. Mark Pearson, Ruben needs to cut the blank and stop asking dumb questions. But I one question I haven't liked, and it was the Jalen Carter question. It's how Ruben felt. I'm not telling he's wrong if that's how he felt. I just thought it was an odd question. The question yesterday was totally warranted. No issue. No one should have an issue with what was asked yesterday. Reddick is another guy that had drama because reporters asked dumb questions. What was Reddick's thing? Reddick had drama because reporters. I don't remember a Reddick problem. Trey Turner is about to hit 20 home runs for sure, maybe 25 now. Smith and Brown are both precious. There we go. I'd like to say that. What's up, Mihai? Nice to see you. Oh, Isaiah Rodgers. Isaiah Rodgers will not count on the Eagles roster this season, but he's now officially going to be with them once the league reinstates them, which they're eligible for after this season. Oh, there you are. Yeah, which is likely after this year. Yeah, they can apply for reinstatement following this year. By the way, the Isaiah Rodgers things, I think, I find it interesting that people don't understand why the league cracks down on gambling the way the league cracks down on gambling. And yes, morally speaking, people do far worse things than gamble. Morally speaking, I don't have a problem at all with gambling. I think it's fun. I gamble. The classic line of bet with your head and not over it should apply to everyone, and everyone should heed that advice. But let me just go into something here because I know it's going to get brought up because of Isaiah Rodgers and all that. The NFL, the biggest threat to the NFL isn't what people are doing off the field that are far more dangerous and far more moral and flat out evil. That's not the biggest threat to the NFL. The biggest threat to the NFL is that people don't take the game seriously. And the easiest way for people not to take the game seriously is to think that games are fixed, to think that guys are winning money by gambling, think that anything like here's the most the best analogy or comparison I could draw to it is the replacement refs. I don't know anyone that praises NFL officials, but when you know the NFL officials are not the best at what they do, it really compromises the integrity of the game. So when you had replacement officials and you had the fail Mary in Seattle, the NFL needed to work quickly in making sure that they could bring back integrity to the game and make the game as legitimate as possible because replacement officials don't do that. Why? Because they're not the best, and you don't feel like the game is in the best possible hands. When people are gambling on anything, and gambling on football particularly, it doesn't make people feel like, is this legit? Replacement refs, doesn't it make the game legit? Gambling doesn't make the game legit. That's the biggest threat the NFL has right now. Oh, they take all this money. You're damn right they do. And good for them. They should. But players should be nowhere near gambling. Because next thing you know, it bleeds and it might bleed into something else. And the NFL just puts this stomps on it right there. They put out that fire. Don't even try it. Don't even try it. Because the next step could be, oh, now I'm down a couple of bucks. What am I going to do to try to get back in it? Affecting the outcome of a game? Yeah. That's the NFL's biggest fear. It's their biggest threat. That's why they have to stomp out any little tiny little fire before it, becomes a something horrific. So that's why they jump on it right there. Low risk, potentially high reward by Philadelphia. Like, yeah, I don't mind it at all. I don't know. Derek Barnett, most hated. Okay, this is where it comes in with Riley Cooper. Okay, Derek Barnett, most hated Eagle since Riley Cooper. I would not go there. Riley Cooper wasn't that hated. He got a contract. Derek. Penalties. Just a teep. Where you been? Nice to see you. I guess it's time to wake up and go storm prep. Florida living. Oh, is that where you're at? Good luck to you, man. Good luck to you. Oh, we're talking about Florida. Weather in Florida. Oh, it's on Reddick's contract. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought there was something else like pitting him against like Brandon Graham for sacks or something like that. Just to guess, games are fixed. You think the NBA official Tim Donaghy was the only one? Oh no, I know. And I watched that whole documentary with Tim Donaghy. That was interesting. Why is it possible to nail when momentum swings will come based on calls by the refs, especially when saying they can throw a flag on every play? It's all fixed. It could be. I don't necessarily believe the NFL is scripted, but if somebody told me games were fixed, I'd be like, okay, that doesn't surprise me at all. You know how much money is to be made if you fix a game? That's a lot of money. Money is the root of all evil, as they say. Thanks everybody in the chat. You guys are great as per usual. I'll hop over to JAKIB Media one more time to see what if you guys had anything else to add before I move on. Oh, I was reading comments from the Farzy Show page. So Eagles fan bird nation. I read comments from the JAKIB Media YouTube channel and then from the Farzy Show YouTube channel. So I give love to both channels there that we simulcast on. So I appreciate you. Thanks everybody in the chat. You guys are great as per usual. Morning Rush brought to you by Sky Motorcars, skymotorcars.com. Phillies are back at it tonight against the Angels, 6:40 start time. Phillies will send Michael Lorenzen on the hill. They'll send him out tonight. Michael Lorenzen, of course, struggling after his no-hit bid. But he gets to start against the Angels tonight. Lorenzen 7-8 on the season with a 3.69 ERA. He'll go against the lefty, the 33-year-old veteran lefty, Tyler Anderson. He's 5-5 on the season with a 5.35 ERA. Cut down day for the Eagles today. They got to cut the roster down by 4 p.m. this afternoon. So look forward to seeing who could be out there. Nicholas Morrow still on the team. How many linebackers are they going to carry? Justin Evans? Kayvon Wallace? Who makes the squad? Who doesn't? We'll know all of it. Trey Sermon? No, we already know that. We'll get to it all on tomorrow's show, so don't miss that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Much appreciated, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll be back with you guys tonight for Fighting's postgame here on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. For those on the Farzy Show YouTube channel, thanks so much. For those on JAKIB Media, thank you so much. We'll be back with you guys tonight on JAKIB Media for the Fighting's postgame show. Jim Hyde, produced the program, did a wonderful job as per usual. My name is Mark Farzy. This is the Farzy Show. Catch you guys tonight and then again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. See you guys then. Bye.